The Hawks are in big trouble. I'm going to go over what's working, what's not, and what needs to change. Let's get into it. After the Lions game, I was thinking the media was being a bit over-dramatic during the week, considering 2 of our 4 losses were by a kick, and the other 2 games, yes, they were bad games, but in saying that, that's 9 out of 11 games that were good games, either wins or losses within a kick. So 2 out of 11 games doesn't seem too bad, but after this Collingwood performance, yeah, I think we're in a bit of trouble at the moment. Players underperforming are Sicily, Moore, D'Ambrosio, Impey, and obviously a few more, but I think those are the main 4 from last season who had massive impacts. Like Impey came 3rd in the best and fairest. I don't think he's in the top 20 at the moment, just for example. Sicily last night, 6 disposals, 0 impact. Yes, he had 3 score involvements, but he literally had 0 impact, and he was arguably, if not the worst player on the ground last night, and that's been generous. Other than the poor form from pretty much the whole team, we just seem very unbalanced right now. We have too many tall defenders and too many small forwards, so something needs to change. We've got 5 small forwards, that's not including Bruce, who's not playing consistently, and then we have 5 either key backs or third talls in Barras, Battle, Sicily, Scrimshaw, and Weddle. So something's got to change. This can't keep going for another week. We are unbalanced as a team, to put it bluntly. But I think the 2 biggest weaknesses that need to be addressed this week, either if it comes to game plan changes or lineup changes, is our lack of explosiveness and class in the midfield, which Will Day is the best in the team at, and also a lack of 450 targets. Yes, we got Chol and Gunster, but they're not tall forwards that can take big marks. Like, they're not contested marking players. So, yeah, something needs to change very quickly going into the next week. The very first thing we need to address is a marking forward. So, I'm thinking Calciadier needs to come back in. Yes, he wasn't great against the Suns in his first game back, but it's his first game back up and down with the heat. There's sort of an asterisk next to that. So I'm thinking bring Calciadier in, not even for the marking, but just for contesting the ball and bringing the ball to ground. Because once the ball comes to ground, our small forwards can do their thing. And they're some of the best in the comp at roving and getting the crumbs and just being good small forwards. So either Calciadier comes back in, or we need to bring in Ramsden, either play full forward or a forward ruck role, or Jasper Scaife to come in for his first AFL game. We need one more big damn forward that can contest the ball, because multiple times in the Collingwood game and multiple games this season, we have a good handball chain, we get a bit of space, we get open, and instead of kicking it long to a marking target, a key forward, we over handball it and we turn it over, and that goes down to the other end and they get a goal. And usually this is within sort of the half forward, sort of middle of the ground area. So instead of going long, deep in 50, we have the extra handball or 2, and then we turn it over, and then the other team goes back into their forward 50. So that is the main thing we need to address. We look up and there's no one to kick to, so we overuse it and we stuff it up. That is our biggest weakness right now. Like I said earlier, we have too many tall defenders. The small forwards from opposition teams the last few weeks have been cooking us. Elliott kicked 5-1 last night. The week before, Archie kicked 4-2, Cameron kicked 3 straight. In the Suns game, Ben Long kicked 4-2, and another small forward for the Suns kicked another 2 goals straight. And the week before that, Pickett from Melbourne kicked 2-2, and it should have been 3-2 if they called that trip in the goal scorer against Hardwick. We just don't have a good enough small defender to keep up with the small forwards. Impey and Amon, yes, they're small defenders, but they're more running off half back, like being aggressive with their kicking off half back like Amon is. And no one can keep up with the small forwards the way Hardwick does. Elliott, to be fair, Elliott's one of the best forwards in the comp right now. Battle had a really hard time. Some of those kicks to Elliott were perfect out in the lead. But 5 goals, this has happened 4 weeks in a row. Hardwick needs to go down back. There's too many small forwards. We don't have a good enough small defender. Hardwick needs to go down back, at least for the next 2 weeks. The only squad changes I'll make for next week against the Dogs is Cam McKenzie and Calciadier coming back in for McGuinness and either Morrison or CJ. Probably Morrison. Even though Morrison's played a little bit better this season than CJ, I think take him out just for a week off, just because CJ can play wing and half back. That's the only reason. And if they both come out, put Max Ramsden or Jasper Scaife in. We've got to switch it up. Don't make too many changes. You can't make 4 or 5 changes. That will throw the team off too much. But just a couple changes. Switch things up. Bring in a strength and replace the weakness with the strength, and just go from there. But yeah, those 2 out of 3 players need to come in, no if, buts or maybes. For positional changes, there needs to be a straight swap with Hardwick and Sicily. Sicily needs to start up forward to get his form back, and Hardwick needs to go down back to shut down just the best small forward, to be honest. That will balance the team up nicely. Another small defender and another tall forward. It would just, balance up the team beautifully, in my opinion. And also, when Sicily's not up forward, Weddle needs to be up forward. He can take a specky, he can take a mark, he can at least contest the ball and bring it to ground. as opposed to, like I said earlier, we get into a handball chain and instead of kicking long to a marking target, we overhandball it and we turn it over. So either Sicily or Weddle needs to be up forward at all times, regardless of if Chol or Gunston or whoever's up there as well. I think the biggest letdown so far this season is Dylan Moore is playing too much in the midfield. He's our best forward, our highest kicking small forward from last season, and obviously he has to make up for the loss of Will Day, but his best position is half forward, high half forward, and then he can play bursts in the midfield, like 5 to 7 minute bursts in the midfield. If he's playing a full quarter or arguably a full game in the midfield, he's not going to be as good in the midfield as someone like a Josh Ward or Cam McKenzie, who can they'll get the ball, they'll dish it out, they'll do midfield things. But Dylan Moore needs to be up forward, kicking goals, playing the high half forward role the way Ginnivan has the last few weeks, the way Watson does, and that's his best position. Last season, 20 disposals of the game and almost 2 goals, compared to this season, 16 touches and just under a goal a game. So yeah, he's arguably going at almost half as good as he did last season, and that needs to change immediately. I'm sick of seeing him in the midfield when he's our best forward. It makes no sense to me that you take your best small forward and put him in the midfield. Like he's kicked 5+ multiple times last season, so he needs to be back up forward doing his thing. I know this is obviously a rather negative video, but I just want to say Ginnivan, 3 goals, over 30 touches, easily our best player by far. And then Ward and Nash also played well. Ward with 26, Nash with 25. And other than that, I don't know. There's a few players that played alright. Amon and Warple didn't play bad, but the rest, nah, not up to par at all. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Are my opinions alright? Are my structure changes good? Yeah, let me know. And if you want to see more, subscribe.